Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we will be big box store plant shopping at the Walmart off of Dallas Parkway in Plano, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting that like button for my video and subscribing to my channel for 1 hour plant shopping videos daily. You can see that it is a beautiful day out in West Plano, Texas. This is a suburb off of North Dallas, and I like to go to this particular Walmart. Notice that it's got an interesting exterior look about it. But anyways, I have found some really nice plants at this actual Walmart. I actually found an Epipremnum aureum neon pothos, and as you can see right here, when you walk into it, you can see that they've got these large foliage plants for $24.84. Hello Plano, and you can see that this Walmart is actually really nice and organized. Everything is pulled forward, everything is organized, and I'm actually shopping around lunchtime, and surprisingly there's not as many people shopping. Have you ever just gone out plant shopping and you've been having to dodge the crowds? I have been lucking out lately because there hasn't been as many people just out and about, which makes it easier for me to film these plants. But as you can see, that there are just so many plants that are being released by Costa Farms. So we're going to see if we can find a Monstera Thai constellation. That's really one of my goals, and that's the reason why I have been visiting a lot of Walmarts as of late. And you can see here large foliage plants for $24.84. I do like the merchandising that this particular Walmart does at this location. Beautiful looking Monstera deliciosa right here, as well as some Majesty palms. I haven't really talked about Majesty palms as of late, but just know that they are everywhere still. You can go to a big box store, grocery store, plant nursery, and find Majesty palms. And you can see right here, Costa Farms has been releasing some beautiful Monstera deliciosas, just a green variety. I know that we've been searching for the Monstera Thai constellation. I have yet to make it out to the Rockwall Walmart it's just further down south from where I'm based at, which is in North Dallas. So for those that are new to the channel, welcome. I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies, and if you happen to make this during a live premiere, please make sure you are saying hello to us on the live premiere chat. We've had a lot of new faces on, and we constantly chat with each other daily, since I try to make videos to premiere at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, stay tuned for that. But you can see here for $39.96, beautiful looking ficus, lyratas or fiddle fig leaf trees. And then we've also got some Pachira aquaticas here. So I am actually in the hunt for a Pachira aquatica, even just the green form at this point. So I may end up just picking up one of these today for $39.96. It is in a nice planter, and these have been released by Costa Farms. I am in just awe of just how Costa Farms has been able to produce so many plants. I'm so thankful that Costa Farms has made exotic plants available for us. Those trending tropical plants have just really made it easy for us to go plant shopping and plant collecting. Plant foldies, I have been doing plant shopping videos for a good 4 months now, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am that you guys tune in every single evening with me to go get these plant shopping videos and just really celebrating plants in general. And you can see here they've got some large planters here. I always like to look at the planters when I go plant shopping. I probably need to do a little bit more of that, just showing you guys what planters are available and what plants would be recommended to put in plants. So we'll check that out. But you can see here we are in the outdoor patio section, and I do like how this Walmart has these patio situations set up. Off the bat, they do have this nice looking exotic angels Costa Farms plant for $5.48. This is a Croton Gold Dust. Really like Croton Gold Dust. I just really like the look of crotons. I feature them pretty much in every single video I do. It is a common plant, but it is a plant that some people would say is not really meant to grow indoors. I would agree. This plant really requires a lot of bright light. I grow my croton out in full sun. Same thing with my ficus elastica or rubber tree plants. They do very well outdoors, and they do size up pretty quickly when you grow plants. And over here we've got some Phalaenopsis orchids for $15.97. I do like that these Phalaenopsis orchids are merchandised on this round table setup. The only thing I don't like about Phalaenopsis orchids at big box stores is when they still have that plastic wrap around it. They kind of remind me of cut flowers, even though they are still rooted and growing. And then over here, they've got a beautiful setup. Let me just pan away here of just several plants by Costa Farms. So I like to look at these plants and just see the, how much they are. They have a lot of trending tropical plants, and you can see here right off the bat, we've got a Monstera Peru in a self-watering planter for 1984. I have been talking about getting a Monstera Peru. I may end up getting one very soon just because they've got a nice release of them. I would love to get a variegated form as well. And I talk about variegated plants and just the need for them. Sometimes we just have to celebrate the green plants because they're this easier to care for. You don't have to worry about the leaves browning up and crisping. And over here we are looking at an Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. Beautiful looking pothos right here as well. Now you can notice that this one doesn't have that stark green on green variegation, just because it may not have gotten as much light. So with the global green pothos, you really have to give it a lot of bright indirect light for it to really push out that contrast on green variegation. It is one of the plants that I absolutely love because it is a pothos plant, and pothos plants are really easy to take care of. I always recommend, easy to care for plants, especially for those that are discovering plants and starting to grow plants indoors. Pothos plants are very easy. I will say this is a beautiful looking philodendron Birkin. It does have a little bit of leaf damage. I think that the variegation was just a little too high, and that's the thing. When you start getting really white leaves, it makes it more challenging to grow the plant, because the plant needs chlorophyll in order for it to really survive. It doesn't really photosynthesize with all that white variegation, which makes it a little bit more challenging. And then over here, we've got a Raven ZZ for 1984. Love Raven ZZs, one of the easiest plants to really take care of. It really can thrive in neglect. All you have to do, especially now that it's in a self-watering planter, is just fill up the reservoir and then just let it grow. Over here, we've got an Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue. Beautiful looking Epipremnum pinnatum. It is one that doesn't really necessarily have to grow up a totem pole for it to fenestrate. And for those that don't know what the term fenestrate means, it means that the leaf starts to split or make holes. That way it can actually provide more light to the lower parts of the plant in nature. But you can see here what a full looking Walmart we have already, and I do like the fact that they've attempted to really merchandise the plants, make sure that the plants are all organized by the species, which I really appreciate, especially at a big box store like Walmart. Sometimes you'll get some that have all of the plants mixed up, but it really makes plant shopping easy, and it just kind of pretty much inspires people to pick up plants. You are definitely more impulse buy if you have really nice merchandising, or at least in my experience. And right here, this is a beautiful Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. I will be purchasing this global green pothos for a local Plant Foldy subscriber, Steven. I will be meeting up with you at Plant Keeper this Saturday, so super excited to run into you. This is the global green I was talking about. Notice that it is a beautiful looking global green pothos, really high variegation, or at least really high contrast on the green on green, and it is also trailing. So some trending tropical global greens are not trailing. This one is a really nice one, and for a pothos plant, if you want to let it trail, this is already an instant one right here. I really like it a lot. I may spray some of my leaf shine pest control when I give it to you, Steven. So very excited for that alongside with your Manjula pothos. So plant foldies, especially in the local Dallas-Fort Worth area, if you have any plant requests or plants that you would like to see, or maybe potentially for me to purchase, let me know. I am open to that. You can get in contact with me if you add me on Instagram at Growfolds. I currently don't have a Facebook account for Growfolds, so I may eventually create that, because apparently there is a bigger community for that. But anyways, as you can see right here, we've got a Dieffenbachia, and then I want to show you this. So this is an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos for 1984. This is actually not a bad looking one. You can see that there is that yellow variegation. It is a sport variegation, I believe, from a global green pothos or potentially an enjoy pothos. It is a slower growing pothos. The thing about this one is this one also needs a lot of bright light in order for it to really get the variegation. If you don't provide it with really good light, like say you bring it indoors and you're growing it in your home and you put it in a corner that's actually not very well lit, it will actually have more green, just more green foliage as compared to that contrast that you're looking for. And then over here is another Epipremnum aureum global green pothos, beautiful looking pothos. Again, this is for $19.84 by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. I love it. I love that they've released several of these, and I would say any pothos plant. Back then, that global green was super expensive. Like a one leaf, one node cutting was a $50 price. I was one of those that wanted to buy that, so I ended up buying it. And now a couple years later, the plant pricing has gone substantially down. So it is one of those things where plant pricing will eventually go down. And I just wish that plants would actually get more overhyped and hyped up, because this is such an underrated plant. That is a Dracaena lemon lime for $9.97, a 6-inch planter, as well as this also. This is another beautiful Dracaena as well. Dracaenas are just not heavily talked about, and I don't know if there's just not a big stir when it comes to plant collecting for some Dracaenas. I would recommend those because they are one of the easiest plants. Now, I do want to pan over to the outdoor garden section, and then for those that are in here for the indoor plants, bear with me because I heard from a birdie that there were several plants for $1. So you already know I am all about that. Plant saving. I like to save on plants when it comes to buying plants in general, and you know, if a birdie tells me that there's some for $1, I am going to definitely check out the outdoor section. It is spring, it is beautiful, and we've got beautiful plants like this. This Vinca plant is for $17.84. Like that, a lot of Vinca plants do require a lot of light, full sun if you're going to grow them, but they can tolerate very hot conditions and drought. And then over here, we've got some pepper cage plants by Garden Expert. So it's already got lots of blooms, and then you can see right here, wow. Yep. So if you're looking for annual plants, you definitely need to go to this Walmart because they just clearanced out a bunch of these wax begonias. Really excited for that. So I have the white version of this wax begonia. I am definitely going to purchase some of these pink ones and also red ones so I can get different colors of wax begonia. And you can see right over here, they've got some geraniums on clearance as well for $1. That is not a bad price at all. And it's one of those things where whenever you go big box store plant shopping, you never know what you're going to run into. Like, I wasn't really planning on buying a bunch of wax begonias, but if they're $1 in a 4-pack, I am definitely not going to miss out on that because one pack is already $1.97. And then over here, I wanted to go highlight a little bit more about the merchandising of this particular Walmart. Look at how full, impactful, and beautiful this Walmart looks right here. They've got several of their blooming plants. Absolutely stunning. And I really like the fact that they all have very healthy looking plants. This one right here is by Garden Expert. This is a Kalanchoe for $4.97. I would recommend that price because that's not a bad price at all when it comes to plant shopping. Again, I do plant shopping videos every day. I am literally in a big box store plant shopping almost every day. I try to compile a lot of film just because I want to make sure that I give you that plant content every single day. Consistency is very important to me, just because you guys have shown me that you will tune into my live premiere chats. I'm really not trying to have those impulse live premiere chats that start at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. I know a lot of you guys go to bed a little bit early. I do as well because I have a job that is very demanding, let's just say the least. You know, I work 10-hour day jobs. I manage people, and it is a little bit challenging to balance this, but making plant shopping videos so I can showcase how beautiful a Walmart like this is very satisfying. It's very relaxing, and I love the process. Definitely the flower of the hour, and that is petunias. Beautiful hanging baskets of petunias, and then we've got a bunch of petunias right over here. Lots of Better Homes and Garden plants. Love that the Walmart has released a bunch of those beautiful plants. You can see we've got potato vine, we've got some more petunias here, and then we have one of my favorite plants, my current plant obsession. And when I say obsession, it's literally taking over my front patio, and that is these coleus plants by Better Homes and Garden. This one is one that I will be buying today. This is a Coleus ruby slippers. Look at how red the foliage is on this particular Coleus plant. Super exciting to have one. This one is for $5.88. I bought this almost very similar one called Coleus Campfire. After repotting it into a bigger planter, it has really exploded in its growth to the point where I actually took some cuttings. You can see the process on my Instagram account. I probably need to make a video of my propagations of Coleus because I have been doing a lot of cuttings from the ones that are currently growing out in my back and my front patio. And over here, this is another gorgeous looking dahlia. And what I love about this dahlia is look at the structure of the blooms. Absolutely stunning. This is for $5.88. I am actually looking for those columbine flowers. I regret that I didn't buy nearly as many columbine flowers because the ones that are out in my backyard in full sun are growing again. They lost their flowers, but they're reblooming again. And they kind of remind me of that structure that's just very almost origami looking structure. Like this right over here. If you ever look at kusudama, which is basically an origami flower ball, it kind of reminds me of that. And these again are for $5.88 by Better Homes and Garden. I commend Walmart for really upping their game when it comes to just the quality of plants that they have available, as well as even the quality of their planters. I would recommend that Walmart has probably the most cost-effective, most stylish planters out there as far as a big box store if you're looking for a really good price point. And that's the thing about plant shopping here. I like to find plants at a really good price point. So while some plants might be expensive, I go for plants that, like for instance, this one right here is a beautiful fuchsia plant for $5.88. Look at how large those blooms are. But whenever you go plant shopping, it is really important to canvas and really look at different sources of where you're going to buy plants. You would be surprised. So sometimes we would automatically assume that Walmart is the most cost-effective or cheapest plants you can find. But as I've learned in my experience just going to big box stores and grocery stores, especially Kroger grocery store, will have some really cost-effective pricing. If you live out in Texas, for instance, you will go to H-E-B and they have some really cheap plants as well. But speaking of cheap plants, we've got some petunias, we've got some vincas available for $1. They are on clearance and these are super healthy. So I also appreciate the fact that these impatiens are also for $1, but the fact that this Walmart, the plant vendor, was being proactive in a sense that they're not clearancing out plants that are basically on the verge of dying. So that's the only, I say, critique that I would say for Lowe's, for instance. They have plants in the clearance section for 50% off, but they are literally at the brink of death, versus these plants. Like these plants right here literally just need to be watered with water and they will be good to go. Like I am definitely going to get some marigolds. I want to grow some more marigolds because they remind me of my childhood. They were one of my first plants to grow from seed and actually get to flower. But you can see here, beautiful wax begonias. These are very fast growers as well. I really love the blooms of them and they're very profuse bloomers. And then over here, we've got some more hanging baskets. So I like this hanging basket of Calabranchoa. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they've got some other mixed plants as well here. So Better Homes and Garden has really stepped up their instant hanging baskets and also combination planters. Beautiful neon potato vine there. Those are very common and commonly grown in the summertime in Texas, just because they can tolerate that heat. And then you can see here we've got more plants. So we've got a bunch of New Guinea impatiens by Better Homes and Garden. These ones are for $15.88. I do like the blooms on this one as well. It's got a red orange bloom and then also just the leaf shape and that veining is very nice. So we have a lot of outdoor plants, but don't worry for those that really like the household indoor tropical plants. I'm going to go back to that in just a sec, but I couldn't help the fact that this Walmart is super full. It's got a large outdoor section and all of the plants look very healthy. I already have this particular Coleus. I bought this when I first saw it, and this one is by Better Homes and Garden, $8.78. I really don't know the Coleus plant ID name for it. What I do know is what a gorgeous looking Coleus plant. Now, Coleus plant care, basically Coleus plants need to be in bright indirect light. They prefer that versus versus full sun, unless you specifically find a coleus that says sun coleus, which basically can take full sun. They get the best coloration for that. And you also need to make sure you're literally watering them every single day. You do not want a coleus plant to dry out because it will quickly start to crisp up. And you can see right here even more plants on sale. So these planters are now on clearance for $5. Some of them are a little bit more dehydrated than others, but I do want to buy me some lantana. I am debating on whether I should buy this one for $5, this hanging basket. The only thing I need to do if I were to buy this is obviously pull out all of the dead blooms, or what I would call deadheading them, so that this calabitroa will rebloom again. But it's not a bad price for $5. And you can see here tons of more perennials here. I have gotten into perennials, and for those that don't know what the term perennials mean, it means that you can grow these plants in the ground in your landscape depending on your growing zone. So please make sure you do your research. I am in growing zone 8A. Is it 8A or 8B in North Dallas? So I have to just be very cognizant of what plants I'm putting in the ground for perennial growth. But you can see here beautiful containers made easy by Better Homes and Gardens. Beautiful looking plants. You would just need to either repot those in a slightly larger planter, maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches bigger in diameter, and you're good to go. And then you can see here hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas just the same way as I love Hydra Helix. And if you've actually followed my plant shopping videos, there are certain plants that I love, but I just can't seem to keep alive, and hydrangeas are one of them. I don't know if it's just really hot in Texas to where they just really won't grow well outdoors, but I always see them pop up starting around Easter time, and they always just make me want to buy them. And then over here, we've got some I believe these are day lilies for $18.47. Lots of lilies, and I didn't realize that lilies are really pretty much a perennial plant when grown outdoors in the landscape. So that's nice. Perennial plants are, plants that will grow back year after year, depending on your growing zone. So I like that a lot. And you can see we've got some dehydrated Spanish lavender here. They just need a little bit more water, but I do like lavender. They've got a common effect. I actually drink lavender tea on occasion, and that's the thing about me too. Just a little bit more about myself. I love plants, every single type of plant you can think of. I also love the arts. I love origami. That is a huge thing for me. And I also love tea, like Japanese loose leaf tea, matcha tea. I love that. So just some more tidbits about me. I know you guys have asked if I will do a face reveal. I don't know if I will. I'm a little bit shy. I feel like you guys are okay just hearing my voice. So let's just keep that together for now. But who knows, if we get like 20,000 subscribers, I may actually do a face reveal. So for those that know other people that love plants and love to engage in 1 hour plant chats, send them over to my way. Send them over to GrowFolds. This community has been growing at a pretty good pace, and I love it. I also love that Asiatic lily, by the way. Love that it's got that very fiery red tone about it. And Asiatic lilies, I like the foliage too, because it's got a very compact look on the foliage, and that's something that I like to look at too. Very compact growth. I don't really like leggy growth when it comes to certain plants, and that goes back to pruning. So I will talk specifically more about what plants you need to pinch back. One plant that comes to mind specifically would be coleus plants. They can get a little bit leggy. Another plant that I would say gets leggy is a Tradescanthia. So you just need to pinch them back or cut them back. You can even use those cuttings to propagate and make more free plants. Over here, I want to go pan over $8.77, and you get that whole planter of gorgeous looking petunias. And then these ones right over here are canna lilies. These are also perennials as well. These ones need to be, I believe, in full sun to really get the best coloration and the most blooms out of it. But I want to pan over here and just keep showing you how gorgeous this outdoor section is at Walmart. got some beautiful coreopsis plants right here. Look at these beautiful blooms. They remind me of African daisies. Look at that, just the coloration of those flowers. And I know some people are not really into flowers. Honestly, I am, because flowers just bring me a lot of joy just looking at flowers. And who doesn't like bright blooms in the outdoor landscape? You know, I could just sit out here and literally look at all of these plants and just really enjoy it. And that's the thing about big box store plant shopping or plant shopping in general. I just love looking at plants. Like for instance, here are some dianthus, beautiful looking plants right there. They remind me of carnation flowers. They might be actually the same thing. So please leave in the comments, plant folies, if that is the same flower. But as I pan away from here, look at how gorgeous these plants look like. Here we've got some Shasta daisies here, the snow-capped one. They remind me of forget-me-not flowers, really nice, but they definitely need some water. Those probably need to be actually clearanced out as well. And then over here, more flowers, more Callia lilies right here. And I do like Callia lilies. Some people say they look like funeral flowers. I don't really try to look at that way, but look at that. For $10.47, you've got a Callia lily that you can plant in your landscape depending on your growing zone, and you can have them come back year after year. I do like the foliage on their leaves. The speckling on their leaves is really nice, and also the shape of their bloom. I love the white color as well on it. White flowers, I've said this in all of my videos, is there's just a certain elegance about it. And I do want to show you this. What an interesting looking flower right here. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? I love that they look like little bells, and even just a subtle, gentle color of pink there. I don't know what this flower is, so I'm going to look for the actual plant ID in a second. But look at that. It is absolutely stunning, and we are going to see this is a foxglove for $18.47 by Better Homes and Gardens. Foxglove, what a nice looking one. And you can see like the skyline is also great. I do like that this Walmart has the sky just exposed, and you can see that all of these plants, these sun-loving plants, are definitely enjoying it. I like to look at all of these flowers and plants that Walmart has, and this year especially Walmart has really upped its game with its outdoor section. And you can see here we're going to walk by a lot of these hibiscus plants. My family is from the Philippines, and where we are from, we call hibiscus plants gomamela. They grow very well in tropical climates. This one right here is another hanging basket of purple petunias. Beautiful looking petunias. They are readily available. I would actually want to do some research to see what really fancy petunia hybrids look like. I've already seen a lot of cool looking ones. And over here we've got a bunch of island bloom Costa Farm plants, or these are the series of plants that they have. Like these hanging baskets right here are mandevilla flowers. They are pretty much at every single big box store. I mean, I have even seen Target, which traditionally hasn't had outdoor plants in general. They've got a whole display at some of these Targets that I've been to where they are selling mandevilla flowers. They're also selling cordyline plants like this. This is a cordyline Hawaiian tea plant for $5.84. Really like the pink that's coming out of this one. If you grow a cordyline plant in full sun, they do extremely well because that's where you get the best variegation, at least in my opinion. And they can get fairly large as well. Most cordyline plants can get leggy, so you have to watch out for that. Once it starts to get leggy, you can cut it and propagate it and just have another free plant. But you can see these ones have been growing in these $5.84 starter plant containers, because these have been out for about, I would say, about a month and a half or 2 months, and you can see that it's pushed out new growth. I recently potted mine up in a really large planter, probably a planter that didn't need to be that large, but I really want mine to grow fairly well. And I don't have to worry about the water staying really wet, or not the water staying really, no, the soil staying really wet, because it is growing outside in full sun. I'm hoping it'll get some really nice pink variegation. And over here, speaking of beautiful colors, I love looking at knockout roses. So roses are plants that I may introduce back into my landscape. A couple years back, about 2 years ago, I had a variegated rose garden. It was absolutely stunning. And I had a few knockout roses. I will say with knockout roses, they bloom so profusely. Literally, you will get so many blooms, especially in the summer. They really like heat. So roses like really warm weather, and you have to make sure that roses are not watered from the top. Like, you really want to avoid getting their leaves wet, their blooms wet, because they will become more susceptible to that black leaf fungus, and it really spreads. And that's probably why I had the demise of my variegated rose garden. But anyways, we're looking at ajuga plants here. This is a variegated ajuga. I will always feature that. For some reason, I really like that plant. It is growing very well for me in a container, and it's a plant that I would like to grow indoors. And then over here, we've got some more clearance plants or some really value plants. I like to take a look at these because typically Walmarts, at least as of late, haven't had these available. You can see here, we've got some plants, I believe, for $2.50. So we've got some geraniums. We got a hanging basket of petunias for $5. We've got a hanging basket of wax begonia for $5. I'm going to get the white version of that one. I found one for $5, and I'm going to grow it out next to my bird feeder in my backyard. I was in the hunt for a hanging basket, so I lucked out because I could actually get one of these, because I mean, originally it's for $17.77, but now all of these petunia hanging baskets are only for $5. That is not a bad price at all, considering petunias are annual, so they will definitely die off in the winter, but you can enjoy all of the beautiful blooms. And over here, we've got a bunch of herbs and vegetables. We've got some vegetables even growing in hanging baskets, which I find interesting. And as I pan around here, we've got some more mixed containers, more hibiscus. We've got a mixed container of like hibiscus plants, and also a cordyline tea plant right here. Beautiful looking foliage. I love how the sun just hits it. And then we also have more of these flowers. I want to go pan over here again and look at these foxgloves. Beautiful looking foxglove plants. And then we have all of those hanging baskets and container baskets on clearance for $5. I will be definitely buying some lantana. And I want to show you these beautiful coral bells. Look at the dark foliage on these coral bells. I would want to try to grow those indoors, but I really feel like coral bells are really meant to be grown outdoors. So I don't really want to push my luck on that one. And then we have a bunch of beautiful looking petunia plants. Beautiful flowers. Let me know in the comments, plant folies. And again, I always talk about this, but I would really love to hear more from you guys in terms of the comment section. It really helps with the plant community engagement. And I just love answering questions. And now we're back inside to just look at all of the indoor tropical plants that they have. Most of these plants are sourced out by Costa Farms. So kudos to Costa Farms for consistently getting us some really good plants. I like to save money on plants. And you know, for the most part, Walmart has some good trending tropical plants. Like these ones right here, Begonia maculata. These used to be so much more expensive, but now these are only for $19.84. Still slightly pricey. I think you can get a better deal. The best deal I got for a Begonia maculata is getting a free plant from my grandmother. She propagates these like weeds. They are so easy to grow for her. I don't know what it is about begonias and my grandmother. She does very well, and she gave me a free Begonia maculata. This is a really cute looking Ficus laurata in a self-watering planter. This one is for $14.97 by Costa Farms again. And then we just have some more plants here. I like that they have these readily available. This is an Aglaonema red Siam. So my favorite plant to grow is Aglaonemas. They have so many different varieties. Aglaonemas are so easy to take care of. They can tolerate lower light conditions. You don't have to water them as much. Actually, the way to kill it, Aglaonema, is by overwatering. That's really it. And overall, giving it more bright indirect light will give it more better coloration. So definitely take a look at that Aglaonema. And then as I pan over here is another table full of plants. And then further back, there are even more plants. So I love that this Walmart is always stocked. I am never disappointed going to this Walmart. They always have plants in stock. Some of their plants are a little bit unhealthy though on the inside, like that calathea right over there. It needs just a little bit of water. That's the reason why I always suggest for those big box stores, if they just put water in these self-watering planters like this one right here is a philodendron Birkin for $14.97. That is not a bad price at all. $14.97 is not a bad price at all. And look at how stable that variegation is. It's really white as well. I have a philodendron Birkin growing in hydroponics. And for those that don't know what hydroponics means, hydroponics is basically growing plants in straight water. I find that it does best for calatheas. If you grow calatheas in water, you don't ever have to water them. That's number one. And number two, they get ambient humidity. Over here is a beautiful Sansevieria Moonshine for $14.97. One of my favorite Sansevierias or snake plants. In order for it to keep that gray ghost look about it, you definitely have to check out, you just have to make sure that you give it enough light. And here's another calathea here. I do like the gray foliage of it. It kind of looks like a painting almost, a very matte painting. Very nice looking calathea as well. I have the same one growing in hydroponics. And then as I pan away, we've got a lot of common houseplants. I don't mind common houseplants because there's a reason why they're common. They're easy to grow for the most part. So we've got an Aglaonema Maria here, another plant foldies. If you don't have an Aglaonema, go ahead and go to a big box store and buy an Aglaonema. I highly recommend it. They will bring you a lot of joy. The thing about Aglaonema is, the only critique I have is they are just slow growing. Like, I love plants that you can see push out new leaves very quickly. I think that that's the joy about growing plants, because when you take care of them and then you look at them daily, you can see that there's new leaves unfurling. There is something mentally stimulating in a positive way when you see plants, greenery in general. And you can see here, golden pothos for $9.97. Very good price as well. And this is a plant, if you don't have it in your plant collection, please add it to your plant collection, especially if you are thinking about growing plants because you started to watch my YouTube videos. I will not steer you in the wrong direction. I am all about these like common plants. I am all about saving money on plants. So I will teach you guys tips. And in general, if you're a local plant foldy or somebody that lives out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. But not only subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. That will give you instant updates on when I premiere live premieres, and also just post, silly shorts and things like that. And then over here, beautiful bromeliad. I finally got my first bromeliad, and I got it on sale for $2.47 at Kroger. So today is really exciting because I will be getting plants. I have a plant budget of $20 and I will be getting a lot of plants. I'm going to be getting a hanging basket full of wax begonia, some marigolds, and some more wax begonia. So I'm just waiting to see if these philodendron pink princess right here by Growers Bench will go on clearance. I was able to buy them for $7 actually. They clearanced them out for $7. So it pays to go plant shopping. At least for me, if you guys want to live through me vicariously, it pays to go visit big box stores if you have the time. It has become a routine for me. Like, these ones are for $24.97. They are a little bit pricey. And I will say these philodendron pink princess don't have nearly as good variegation as the ones that were first released. So with philodendron pink princess, you really want to look at that initial genetics of the plant. So find one that's highly variegated, and it will continue to push out pink variegation. I bought a philodendron pink princess for quite a decent price, a couple years back, a cutting, but it only pushes out like very dark foliage leaves. It almost looks like a philodendron Bloody Mary versus a philodendron pink princess. Not complaining because I love dark foliage plants, but that's the thing about certain plants that are variegated. Some are influenced by the amount of light you provide, and some are influenced by just the initial genetics. And then over here, we've got some beautiful flowering anthuriums. I am also growing my anthuriums in hydroponics, just straight water, and it has done very well for me. Really like that a lot as well for my anthuriums. And this one is a really cool anthurium. It always reminds me of Halloween because it's got the dark foliage. And then over here, we've got some cute looking pineapple bromeliad. So pineapples are actually part of the bromeliad family. I like to look at this plant, but there's certain plants that you see often, but you don't really want to buy. That's one of the plants, just because I don't really want a miniature pineapple plant indoors. It doesn't really work for my plant aesthetic. But this one right here is a beautiful Alocasia California. This one is not a bad price at all. I believe it's for like $9.97, somewhere around that range. And then we've got a Dracaena fragrans right here, or that cane Dracaena. That's beautiful as well. And then we've got a Ficus lyrata, or a fiddle fig leaf tree, by Costa Farms, and just another spathiphyllum. But look at this Dracaena there on the very left. And then we've got some Majesty palms. That Majesty palm doesn't look too happy though, because it's got some browning on the leaves. I am just surprised that Majesty palms continue to be very readily available. I don't really see a lot of people talking about Majesty palms in their plant collection. So just curious why big box stores continue to push those out. If you have any insights or opinions about that, please leave that in the comments. Again, I am asking my plant foldies, my regulars, to leave more comments in the comments section, because I just love reading them and I love engaging with you guys. And over here, we've got a hanging basket of Tradescanthia burgundy. Tradescanthia, again, is a plant that can stay compact if you trim it back. And then that one is also for $20.84. This one is a staghorn fern hanging basket by Costa Farms for also $20.84. $20.84. This is another beautiful looking staghorn fern, very full staghorn fern. I have yet to add a staghorn fern to my plant collection. I definitely want to get one. I talk about this pretty much in every video, but mounting it up on a wooden plank would be really cool. And then this is another larger form leaf of a Fittonia. Look at that pink veining we have over here. Absolutely gorgeous. I have a big leaf Fittonia that I bought on clearance at Lowe's. Saved some more money on that for it's called the Fittonia Pink Wave. And then this one right here is another Fittonia plant, but this one has actually got smaller leaves. Now with Fittonias, they definitely need to be on the more wet side in terms of their soil. They need to remain moist. That's number one for Fittonias, and they require a little bit more humidity to really do well. They make very good terrarium plants. And then you can see here, we've got another hanging basket of Fittonia. This is Stripes Forever Fittonia. Beautiful looking one as well. This one's got a little bit larger leaf on it. Now with Fittonias, they would be easy as well to propagate by just cutting off a piece of it, sticking it in water, and it will root. I would say the fastest rooting plant would be either a Tradescanthia or an Epipremnum aureum, or a pothos plant. And then here is that pink wave Fittonia I was talking about. Look at how lush and full this is. Mine isn't as full because I got it as a rescue. So I definitely need to make sure that I water it consistently. It is a very thirsty plant. It's kind of like a coleus plant. And for me as a plant parent, somebody who grows plants indoors, I know my habits in terms of how much I water, how much time I water, how much time I have to dedicate in plant care. And that's always something that I'm going to talk about. Is as much as we love plants, plants will bring you stress versus joy if you don't have the plant care and time for them. Here is a gorgeous Hedera helix, or what you would call a Hedera helix. These Hedera helix, I love it, love it, love it. This one is super full. This is the Ingrid Liz Hedera helix. And for those that are actually watching my videos for the first time, excuse my silliness. It's just that my viewers and subscribers like it when I say that, say it incorrectly. It's really Hedera helix for English ivy. So that's why we do that. Some people actually, keep track of how many times I say it during a video. So I just think that's really funny. Here is some type of Hoya. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a Hoya. And then we've got an Epipremnum aureum neon pothos. Love me some neon pothos right here. Absolutely stunning looking neon pothos. It is another plant that I am a fan of. It's another plant that I think everybody should get for $20.84 in a hanging basket. That is not a bad price at all. Love that a lot, and it is an easy to care for plant. And then over here we've got a variegated lipstick plant as well that I really enjoy looking at. Gorgeous looking plant. It reminds me of a Hoya, and this one is influenced by light. The more light you give it, the more variegation it's going to pop out, because right now it looks like it's not even variegated. And that is also for $20.84 at Walmart. Walmart has some more staghorn ferns. We got some more hanging baskets of Fittonias right here. We've got some Epipremnum aureum pothos here in hanging baskets for $10.97 by the Garden Expert. So really like that a lot. And then we've got another staghorn fern. Now this is another Aralia I want to buy. This is the Gold Crest False Aralia. This one is for $4.97 by Costa Farms Exotic Angels. Really good price for this particular plant, and I like it a lot because of the purple undersides of the leaves. The stems are variegated, and then the edges have a nice faint, almost green cream variegation. I like that a lot. And then this one right here is a beautiful rosy maidenhair fern for $4.97. Beautiful looking one. Now with maidenhair fern, they require a lot of humidity, so this is a plant that I will not be able to grow successfully in my current environment in my home unless I put it in a terrarium. And then that's to go back to like plant care tips. So I have had issues in the past, and I actually had a slight issue where I was buying plants like this. For instance, this Hoya is really compelling me to buy it, but I don't have necessarily all the time I can take to actually do plant care. And what I mean about plant care is it's one thing to water plants, so that can also take time, but it's another thing to look for pests, to cut off dead leaves, to dust your plants, to just really invest a little bit more care to them. That's why for me, if I'm going to buy plants, I'm going to buy plants that I can commit to and also have the time and space for. Also, I'll look at plants whenever I buy plants. I want to look at how they would fit into my my indoor my household decorations. I don't want to just hoard a bunch of plants. For those that have a lot of plants, it's nothing against you. I actually have a whole plant room where I'm hoarding plants, but in general, I like to have plants that kind of fit my my interior aesthetic. And then over here, we've got another Rex begonia. This is another Rex begonia, for instance, that I just want to pick up and buy, but I just know Rex begonias can be a little bit tricky. My suggestion for plant care on Rex begonias is bottom water them, don't get their leaves wet, don't get their stems wet, and you'll be okay. And then over here, another Croton petra. And it's interesting to see Croton petras and the different types of colors they have. I saw a Croton petra at Kroger where it literally had almost black leaves and orange veining. This one has green leaves and orange veining. And then this one is a Peperomia ginny. I actually have one of these, and I bought this at a local plant nursery called Green Acres out in Irving, Texas. They recently opened one up in Melissa, Texas, which is North Dallas. So I will be doing more local plant features. This week, though, I am going to be sharing all of these big box store plants. I know you've seen this before. You've seen this almost every day, but this is an aluminum plant or a palea plant for $4.97. Another plant that I absolutely love. This one is actually very bushy. These ones can tend to be a little bit leggy. And then over here, I'm going to pull out another gorgeous looking rosy maidenhair fern. Now with most ferns, at least these maidenhair ferns, they definitely need to keep their soil moist. Otherwise, they will crisp up. And once they crisp up, it's really hard to rehabilitate them to their former glory. There are some plants that are a little bit more forgiving. Like I would say this Palea Pan Am, gorgeous looking one. I bought this actually at HEB for $3.96. So it's way cheaper than even this Walmart. And I underwatered it, meaning that I forgot to just water it, and it's just started to droop. But thankfully this Palea was a little bit more forgiving. Plants that are not as forgiving when underwatered would definitely be Calatheas is one of them, and then also Syngonium. Surprisingly, like once you really underwater a Syngonium, like if you don't give it enough water, some of the leaves start to crisp. It gets very leggy very quickly. And then over here we've got a gorgeous looking Palea Dark Mystery. Now this is one Palea plant I don't have currently that I would like to add to my collection. It is a gorgeous looking plant here, and it is another one that I really want to add to my collection. So we'll see what that looks like eventually. I'm just looking for the perfect one, the perfect time. And then here is a lemon button fern. Really like that a lot. I see this a lot at a grocery store called Kroger, which is another place that I like to frequent. So there are many big box stores that I go to. I go to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and then I will go to Kroger and HEB as my grocery store plant shopping. I have yet to go to Ace Hardware. I heard that they actually sell plants as well, so I'm going to check out Ace Hardware. And obviously I will get more local plant nurseries. I haven't done those in a while, but plant foliage, based on the views, it doesn't seem to be like something you guys are necessarily interested in. You guys just want to see these big box stores. So I'm going to try to give you more content for that. But just know that I will start showing more of my personal plant collection eventually. I have been talking about doing a home tour, a plant collection tour. I am just a little bit shy. I really need to get my house in order for me to debut it on YouTube. But you can see here we've got some Zora flowers, a bunch of Boston ferns. We've got a bunch of large plants right here, a plethora of like Dracaena marginata. We've got some Dieffenbachias right over here, and we've got a Dracaena over here as well. Lots of large plants. So if you want instant gratification, these are only for $19.84. Not a bad price at all. Again, you can go to Walmart and save a lot of money when it comes to plants. The only thing about big box store plant shopping is you have to get there when they've either restocked or unloaded the plants fresh from a pallet, or you can go there when it's on clearance. Know that if you go to a big box store though, you will risk the potential of bringing a plant pest home because of just the amount of exposure they've had to the elements, as well as just different people. So I always say, no matter where you buy your plants, even at a local plant nursery, spray them down with a preventative pest control spray. I always recommend something natural, maybe like some insecticidal soap. I have a DIY formula where I get a spray bottle, just a typical spray bottle. I put 1 drop of Dawn dish soap. I take 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, 70% rubbing alcohol, 2 tablespoons of that. I stick 2 tablespoons of cold pressed neem oil that you can buy off of Amazon, 1 tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide, shake it up and put water in it, and fill it up with water, shake it up, and all of a sudden you've got a natural leaf spray that makes it shiny and also kills pests. And it's way cheaper than buying insecticidal soap. Anyways, here is a beautiful cordyline Hawaiian tea plant. You can notice that this one has some woody undergrowth right there, so it's starting to mature, but look at how beautiful the leaves are. I really love pink plants, love pink variegation, and this is one that my grandmother does grow very well. She's able to propagate multiple ones of these, but that is one that I'm hoping to grow so much, so we will definitely see that as well. But as you can see here, Croton petras, we've got some more alocasias right over here. These are Alocasia californias, and we've got some asparagus ferns, more Alocasia californias. These ones are really meant to grow outdoors. I've noticed that alocasias grown outdoors do way better than when being grown indoors. So that's something that I will definitely do, is pull out some of my alocasias to grow outdoors. And then we're just going to walk back in one last time here and just pan over and look at some of these plants. You can see that this one has some super full plants. They've tried to keep it organized, but there's just so many plants here. Like you can see here, beautiful looking bromeliad. Look at that pink on it. It looks like somebody just spray painted it. I finally got a beautiful bromeliad for $2.47. And then right over here, this is a nice looking philodendron pink princess. Decent variegation. I would buy that for $7 if they clearance it out. You can never have enough clearance philodendron pink princess. I am all about trying to save that money. And you can see here, gorgeous looking spathiphyllum, more bromeliads here, and just more plants in general. And here is another gorgeous looking Aglaonema Maria. If you haven't gotten one of these plants, please add that to your plant collection. Super easy to take care of. It is a slower grower, but you know what? You don't have to worry so much about the lighting conditions in your home. And I'm just going to keep panning over here and see if we have any other plants that we may have missed. But you can see these are large bromeliads, like literally large bromeliads for $14.97. Look at how beautiful that bloom is. Look at that coloration. It's absolutely stunning. We've got some sago palms right here, raven zizis, calatheas, begonia maculata right over here. All of these are easy to care for plants except the calathea. So if you go to Walmart, you can find plants that you can take care of very easily. Like I do recommend getting a philodendron Birkin. Look at this one, has some really nice variegation. It's very white actually, and that's the thing about philodendron Birkins. They are not all equal in variegation. Some are a little bit more green than others. Not sure if it's the amount of light you provide that can really give it that that white variegation. And then over here, love this silvery gray tone to this calathea here. And calatheas, again, if you want them to be worry-free, fuss-free plants, take all of the soil that they're living in and just convert them into hydroponics. Stick them in water, give them some plant nutrients, give them some bright indirect light, and they will thrive for you. At least for me, that is what has happened for me with calatheas. And then over here, raven zizis. This is another plant that I was told that is a slower growing plant, but really it pushes out more new growth than I can expect from a ZZ plant. Easy to grow, especially in a self-watering planter where I can just fill out the reservoir. And you can see here, this is just a regular green ZZ plant. I will say with ZZ plants, they can get very large in due time. And I like them because of the structure of the leaves and then also just the look. They've got a natural shine about them. So if you have that leaf shine, or at least try making that leaf spray that I talked about in my recipe, you will see what I mean. But as I pan away, what gorgeous looking plants. I am truly satisfied that I was able to go to this Walmart, take you alongside with me, and just share my insights again. I am trying my very best to get you guys that plant content daily. It's just so exciting that we're continuing to grow. We are now at 9,197 subscribers. I'm hoping that we can get to 10,000 subscribers by mid-May, and then eventually get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm not a big YouTube plant influencer by any means, but I do appreciate whoever makes it over to my videos, because you can see here we've got a lot of different types of plants that I can show you. Like that one is a global green pothos. I did want to ask and pose this question. We've got a global green pothos versus a lemon meringue pothos. Which pothos do you like more in terms of the variegation? Do you like the one on the left or the one on the right? It's a really tough decision for me. I like how the global green pothos leaves are a little bit larger and rounder, and then I also like the lemon meringue pothos because of that, that yellow variegation. It almost looks like somewhat of a reverted Android pothos, but the only thing about it is the drawback with that particular pothos, it is slower growing, and so is the global green as well. But if I had to choose, I wouldn't be able to choose which one I would buy today. I am buying a global green pothos though for my Plantfoldy viewer subscriber friend Steven. So I am excited to run into you at Plant Keeper Saturday morning. We can chat about plants. I'll get you your thing, and I believe my number one cheerleader will also show up, Luke. So stay tuned for that. You might get a little footage of Luke at least. We'll see if Steven wants to be on camera, but I will film a little bit of Plant Keeper. I am pretty busy this Saturday. Just when I say busy, I'm actually going to be working on my outdoor backyard, really just getting rid of some weeds and planting down some more lantanas. But Plantfoldies, look at how gorgeous this Walmart is. Look at the fact that I randomly walked into this Walmart with the intent to look for a Monstera Thai constellation. That was a fail, but a win was I was able to find a gorgeous looking Epipremnum aureum global green pothos for a viewer and subscriber, as well as finding clearance, cheap, inexpensive plants for $1 or $5. So that's really exciting. And these plants are, very healthy looking plants for clearance plants. I do recommend that whenever you are buying clearance plants, really debate on whether it is salvageable. But anyways, this is Richie at Grow Folds. I will see you soon. Bye.